Hey there, it's Klumpkin. I hope you're having a great day so far. Today is gonna a little bit be a continuation of last week because I have had a realization, a bazinga moment, if you will, um, where I was talking about how life for me has felt like a loop. And it hasn't changed in the last week, right? That hasn't gone away. But I saw this TikTok. I wanted to write it down in my notes app, so I remembered what to talk about. But so uh, if you watched the last video, I was kind of venting about how life just feels the same every day, and I'm getting tired of the loop that I'm in. And I want something to change, right? And I have the thing where I know I know what needs to change. I just don't do it, right? Um, but this leads me into the TikTok that I found where it was a little chart, and this guy explaining it, and the chart went to many sides, right? But here's like the simplification of it. You don't have to imagine a chart because I wrote down kind of the essentials. So here's the obvious. Putting no effort, right, changes nothing. And then putting effort into the same things changes nothing also. I mean, it might make it a little better, but it also changes nothing, or it might not. And then the third thing, the most important thing, was putting effort into new things gives change. And I think that's very interesting to think about. And also, you're probably thinking, well, no, duh. But like, I don't know. That's just kind of like, I feel like I needed to hear that, and maybe if you needed to too, that's awesome. Because I felt like it's kind of something that should be shared. That I think we all know that nothing happens on its own, really, right? Unless you're really lucky. Nothing truly happens on its own. So I think to like kind of remember that, right? No effort, putting in no effort doesn't change anything. And I'll give you a little example. I feel like you probably don't need it. This is super easy. I feel like this is fairly easy to understand, right? But just for the sake of understanding, um, I had a chemistry quiz yesterday, right? And we had been learning this for about a week, right? We take like weekly quizzes on the stuff that we've been learning for the past 5 days. And well, I took it and I got a bad grade. I got a 4.5 out of 10. Same thing I got on the last test, and for the same reason why I got that grade. I didn't put it in any effort. I only did my homework and I only did what was asked of me in class. I didn't study. I didn't put in any extra work. I didn't none of that. None of the things that helped me be like better at it. I did the bare minimum and I got a bad grade. And it's a hard class too. Like for some classes, I put in the bare minimum and I'm fine, right? Like English or something, or like any other class, like history. You put in the bare minimum. But I have a pretty easy history class. But yeah, I mean, like that's just kind of what happened. I wasn't happy with my grade the first quiz, and I didn't change anything. I didn't study more. I didn't do anything, and I got a bad grade again. So I think this is with this example though. I feel like the putting effort into a new thing might not work as well because I just need to put more effort into studying. But also it could work because maybe I need to put effort into a new way of studying. Maybe what I'm doing right now isn't working for me. I need to try something else. To try and better comprehend what I'm doing. So yeah, I think that's a fitting example. Um, Now what effort you need to put into the new thing is completely like dependent on you, you know, because I don't know what's going on with your life. Um, but like for me, I guess, um, and I hate talking about myself so much, but like this isn't really like a two-way conversation. You know, I'm speaking to a microphone here, so I kind of need to like give personal examples. But uh, something I oh, obviously we already went over how I don't put in enough effort into studying, right? So I'm not I'm not giving and I'm barely returning. You can't not give and get something in return, right? It's like the famous phrase, you get in as much as you get out as much as you put in. Sorry, I messed it up. It's like that, the famous phrase. Um and that's kind of exactly what happened. So like, you know, say another example, another one of my classes is piano, right? If I'm not practicing, you know, granted, I don't have to be practicing all the time, every single day, forever. But like, if I'm not practicing, I'm not gonna get any better. If I'm not challenging myself, I'm only gonna be able to play the same things. And I guess another example. Sorry, I'm just thinking of these. But I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but one of my like favorite little hobbies or like collection things is butterfly knife trainers. Right? I have three. It's kind of generous to call it a collection. I have three, but for a time I loved like just flipping the battle songs, right? The trainers, because I don't really like the real ones. I think the trainers are so much cooler because like they can have really cool designs and stuff. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. Um, but yeah, I kind of just stopped learning new tricks, so I'm just stuck with the tricks I already know. So I'm not putting in effort. I'm not I'm not getting anything out. So it's just kind of like how life goes, I guess. Um, and I feel like I've gotten sidetracked a little bit because this was more in term with trying to change life, right? But I think it still works. Um, where you want something to change, do it. Just put in effort, I guess. And it's infinitely easier said than done. I think doing something new is difficult, right? But that doesn't make it impossible. I believe that every person can do they can do it. I have a like I'm a pretty socially anxious person, right? I hate because I always feel like I'm bugging people, or so I hate going up to people, like even my own friends, right? Because I feel like I hate feeling like I'm bugging people. But if I don't, but I personally I want to be better at talking to people, right? So if I'm not talking to people, if I'm not like going up to people, if I'm not leaving my comfort zone to go and talk to people, whether it be people I know or just complete strangers or new, like I've never met before, if I'm not doing that, I'm never gonna get better. I'm gonna stay how I am now, which is like bad at small talk, like awkward, nervous around people or around new people, right? I'm never gonna get better. If you don't, the basic fundamental is if you don't practice, you're not gonna be better. I think that's the thing to take away. If you don't practice, you're not gonna be better. So, yeah, and I think there's no like I can't tell you how to specifically change that because what you want to do in your life isn't the same thing I want to do, right? So like I could say I want to get better at making YouTube videos, which I'm pretty comfortable where I am right now, but there's like always room for improvement with me, right? There's always room for improvement. But I'm pretty comfortable where I am now. Not to say that I will never improve. I feel like at some point I will have to. Um, but I think like if you go to this and then go, if you go to this and then just go to my first video ever, I think there are some differences. I think I'm a lot better at talking. I think I'm a lot better at conveying what I'm trying to say maybe. And then, every now and then I have a hiccup or two. But like I think I'm a lot better at this. And that's because I've been doing it. So yeah. I hope what you take away from this is the golden rule. There's a lot of golden rules. So I hope what you take away from this is the golden rule. Practice makes perfect. And if you're not trying, then you're not gonna get anything in return. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope this helps. I think that little chart was very eye-opening to me, and I hope that I put some practice into it to try to be the person I want to be in life. Because we're not always that. We don't start off as the people we want to be, At least I don't think. We have to to be the person you want to be, you got to put in the work for it. So I hope this video helped. I hope you enjoyed listening to me yap, ramble, if you will. And I'll see you all next week. Don't forget to tell somebody you love them. And yeah, see you.